what we saw over the weekend from Scottie Scheffler is as outstanding as it gets, and one of the toughest,
like iconic, man,
toughest tests of mental and physical acuity that we can have in any sports event anywhere. The Masters. And Scottie Scheffler gets it done again, wins his second green jacket, and he does it in style, and he does it. Listen, you always need your own, you always need a little bit of luck and your own skill, right? And the rest of the field that seemed to be on his tail as everyone was making the turn from the front to the back and begins to put it in the water or put it in vines or just have the golf gods essentially say to them, not today. And Scottie Scheffler did his thing, which is basically being flawless, which is basically being somebody who can meet the moment when the moment appears to be as huge as it possibly gets. The guy has, I mean, he's got a Federer way about him, you know, where it doesn't seem that he sweats at all. He doesn't seem to panic. He doesn't seem to have a pulse, this guy.
That's really good. I haven't heard anyone bring up Roger's name when talking about Scottie in the last 24 hours.
We can make any shot,
I really
right?
like that. I really like that.
You know, and that's the way it looks like to me when he's out there. It's like, does he have jitters? Does this guy have a jitter in him? Because right now, it sure doesn't appear to be the case. How about a 35-day stretch where you win the Arnold Palmer Invitational, the Players' Championship, the Masters, all in 35 days? That's what he's done. And he's the first guy to win the Players and the Masters in the same year since Tiger did it in 2001. Speaking of Tiger, at age 27, Scottie Scheffler becomes the fourth youngest to win multiple green jackets. Jack did it at age 25. So did Tiger. Different days to separate them in terms of age. And Seve had 2 jackets by age 26. Speaking of Tiger, how about winning multiple green jackets by 3 or more strokes in each time? Tiger in 97 and 02, Seve in 80 and 83, Jack in 65 and 72, and Sam Snead at 49 and 52. He's won 2 green jackets and 5 Masters starts. That's the second fewest number of starts to win multiple green jackets. The one who has the record is a guy named, give him a nudge because he's not paying attention over there. Horton Smith was the guy to do it.
Who the hell is Tim Horton?
It's all right. It's not like we discussed it before the show. Mike, get off your phone. I feel like I'm talking to my kids.
I'm doing something.
Okay, good. Horton Smith won, by the way, Horton Smith won 2 of the first 3 Masters ever. Did you know that?
Ever. Yeah, I did.
Horton, here's a
I only heard it yesterday, so yeah.
That's like being the Bart Starr of the Masters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh, what'd you do, Horton? Oh, I just won 2 of the first 3 Masters. And at the time, it's probably like, what's the Masters? Right?
Yeah. This new thing down in Georgia.
One day you will know.
I mean, so this is what he's doing.
Yeah.
And remarkably, Chris is the only other individual in this room who can understand this.
Well, how do you know what I can understand?
Because you don't have kids.
Oh,
sir.
okay. Well, that's true. You got
and
me there.
you've never had a partner in life that is getting ready to give you a child. And I have one, as you know. She sits in this chair. There's a best mom ever sign that replaces my best dad ever sign
She gets
when
us
Susie
drunk
sits
every
in
time
here.
she's here, so.
It's true. Well, at any rate, I was going to go in a certain direction, but I didn't.
Horton.
That's how we have Taylor. But at any rate, listen.
Oh, wow. Wow. And then you said it.
I did say it. I knew you'd like that. No, but in all seriousness.
My eyes see.
In all,
My eyes see.
but in all seriousness, it's tough to focus when your spouse, your wife, your significant other is ready to give birth.
At any moment.
At any moment.
He had talked about withdrawing.
Yes.
If she went into labor at any point.
Right.
Doesn't matter how big his lead was. He was going to leave.
Does it
believe
matter?
that, though?
Honestly.
Yes, I do.
Oh, I do believe it.
I do believe it.
I believe it. Because there's only one first birth in your life as a husband and a father. There's only one.
Yeah. If they had already had a kid, I'll see you when we're done.
Okay. But he's already had a jacket.
See, that's my argument.
He's already had a jacket.
He already won
and
one.
And I cannot stress this enough. I cannot stress this enough that I'm sure he is locked in on shot making and putting the golf ball where it needs to be placed. I forget who said it over the weekend because I'm watching on the Masters app and then I'm watching on ESPN Plus and I'm watching. My Roku is white hot to the touch, right? CBS.
The broadcast.
And so I forget, somebody was saying that playing the Masters it could have been Van Pelt. Something along the lines that to succeed at the Masters, you've got to know where the ball can be and can't be and how to get out of the spot when you put it where it can't be. That's basically how you navigate Augusta National. Imagine doing that, knowing that you could get a call at any moment. We're done here because you gotta go and be there for the birth of your child,
Yeah, exactly.
your first child. His wife Meredith was at her aunt's home in Dallas. And he could have been hopping a flight. There might have been actually a plane waiting.
I would imagine there was.
He's got the cash to hire a ride to sit there and pay for the taxi time to sit there and be at the ready just in case he's got to fly to Dallas to be there in time. I mean, that's 2.5 hours. You got to get going. And so, it's as remarkable an achievement as you possibly can have. And he kind of alluded to it after it's over. I mean, everything that I mentioned, too, I forget to even mention here that he had 7 birdies on the day. That's the most in the final round by a Masters champion since Sir Nick Faldo had 8 in 89. And he did become the first odds-on favorite prior to the first ball being struck, winning it all since Tiger did it in 2008 at the U.S. Open for any major tournament. Unbelievable.
Yeah, first Masters favorite to win since Tiger in 05.
It's truly remarkable what he did, thinking that he might, because again, sure, he's locked in, but at some point it's going to creep in like, I wonder how Meredith's doing. Is this what he had to say after winning it all yesterday?
I feel like playing professional golf is an endlessly not satisfying career. For instance, in my head, all I can think about right now is getting home. I'm not thinking about the tournament. I'm not thinking about the green jacket. I'm trying to answer your questions. I'm trying to get home. I wish I could soak this in a little bit more. Maybe I will tonight when I get home. But at the end of the day, I think that's what the human heart does. You always want more, and I think you got to fight those things and focus on what's good. Because, like I said, winning this golf tournament does not change my identity. My identity is secure, and I cannot emphasize that enough.
And obviously you have to give kudos to Meredith as well for basically saying, go ahead and do your thing, to create the space for him to go and win the Arnold Palmer Invitational Players in the Masters in 35 days while she's in her final days of being, I'm sure, obscenely pregnant. And by that I mean
very
is,
uncomfortable.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So you understand what I'm saying
totally
here, right?
Get it. I totally get it.
And in terms of what he's saying about his identity, this is a great soundbite as well. I'll read it here because he said, I love competing and I'll definitely enjoy the birth of my first child. I will go home and soak in this victory tonight. My priorities will change here very soon. My son or daughter will now be the main priority along with my wife. So golf will now probably be fourth in line, which means he doesn't know if he's having a boy or a girl, which means it's entirely possible over the back nine when Aberg and Morikawa put it in the water and Homa was in the vines and it looked like he's going to cruise to victory. Somebody could have set it up with Fred Ridley and Augusta National to have the hole on 18. As soon as the ball goes in, like a poof of blue or pink smoke comes out. The first gender reveal in the history of the Masters tournament.
Now, that's a gender reveal we would get.
You know what I mean? They could have set it up. Could have set it up.
Very anti-gender reveals, but that one I would have made an exception for.
On the 18th hole at Augusta?
Boom. You could have given everyone in the crowd,
right?
Like
one of those like rocket poppers, boom, and then puck goes in. But Nance line, boom.
But then again, if he and Meredith have not learned the identity yet, the gender identity yet, they probably wouldn't want the good folks at Augusta National to do such a thing.
Just bam,
a tradition truly unlike any other.
I can feel it.
Fun. That would have been amazing.
And this, by the way, just to wrap up this part of the conversation, because I can't get enough of the fact that he did this while knowing he could just get a tap on the shoulder and say this is happening, and he would go.
Yeah.
Right, which would truly be.
That would have been,
sports-wise and golf-wise, earth-shattering.
Well, there would have been some takes on Monday.
So that he could do this in this setup at this place, in this environment, and be so spectacular at winning, right? I can't get enough of it. This tweet made me truly LOL, as the kids say. Justin Ray, who covers golf. After conquering golf, now Scottie Scheffler gets a bigger challenge, correctly getting a car seat installed without yelling obscenities.
Which is impossible.
Oh, my God.
The car seat is undefeated.
Let me tell you something. And unlike a golf ball, the car seat doesn't listen to curse words. Because I truly believe when I curse at the golf ball, it frequently can hear what I'm saying. Okay? And you can't call the fire department to help you get a birdie on 18.
You can't.
Okay?
The fire department will install your car seat.
Trust me, I'm aware of it. 3 times.
You had the fire department do it?
TJ, it's very
difficult.
2
things. 1, it's insanely
trust me,
difficult and frustrating. And 2, you kind of like golf. You kind of doubt your abilities sometimes, and the last thing you want, the last thing you want to do is learn the hard way you didn't install it properly.
Yeah, that's a non-negotiable there.
That one made me laugh out loud. Congratulations, Scottie Scheffler, who apparently, if Meredith has not given birth,
is he going to play this week?
It looks like he's slated to play in the RBC Heritage in Hilton Head on Thursday.
He's like, well, until you need me, hon.
An elevated event immediately after the Masters is aggressive.
Right.
But Scottie is just like, oh, cool. He's going to stay in there for a little while.
And the rest of the field at the Heritage is rooting for an epidural. Rooting.
Can we schedule a
Can we
C-section
schedule
here?
something?
Can we get this going?
Because the way Scheffler is playing, it's lights out. You're playing for second place right now.
We want a chance to win this week.
No, let me. Can I ask you guys a question about this? Now, obviously, I know the right thing to do is be there for your child, right? But I'm thinking.
No, you're being no
for your wife. I'm sorry.
No. But I'm sorry to interrupt. You're being there for yourself.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
You don't want to miss it.
You don't want to miss it.
Now, here's my question, right? Now, because I like to think sometimes like I'm the fan at home, and I know someone's thinking this. You have a chance to win the Masters. Now, this is kind of weird because he already has one, but let's say he didn't have any. You are in a position now to set yourself up and your new family for the rest of their lives if you win this thing, right? Do you then really say you've got the lead and it looks like you're going to coast the victory?
Yes, you miss it.
Do you
miss it?
Knowing that a win is going to change your family, this baby's life forever.
He's already rich.
I get it. I'm just saying, what if?
No, it's just no. Like I said, I mean, I'm not just doing this to what virtue signal, is that the phrase that you say in the world or whatever?
Well, we
That's
don't
what
say that.
other people say.
Well, anyway, in all seriousness, you don't miss it. You don't miss it for yourself. You don't miss it for your spouse. You don't miss it for every reason. You don't miss it. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.